Is Rhazin still useful after all this time? Let's see. What is going on, Raiders? Soda Dragon here, bringing you a champion spotlight on one of the oldest and one of my favorite characters still in this game, Rhazin Scarhide. One of the best decisions Plarium ever made was to make this guy right here a permanent fusion. So if you play this game long enough and you have a little bit of luck, then yeah, you can fuse this guy too. So the question here is, can Rhazin compete with all the new legendaries that Plarium has put out? Rhazin is old, he's like a few years old, but in this game, that is really old. And look at all the new OP champions that Plarium has put out, like Wythier the Crown, Kyoku, a ton of really powerful legendaries. Can Rhazin still be useful on your account right now? In my humble opinion, yes, he can be. He can do a lot of work for you, not only in PvE, that is really almost any dungeon against any boss. He's really that good in Doom Tower, Clan Boss, whatever. But also in PvP as well. Yes, he can do some work for you in the arena. So let's check out his skills. We'll go through a few builds and see where he can help you out on your account. Let's start off by taking a look at Rhazin's base stats. So once we check out the different builds available for him, then we'll look at the total stats. But right now, let's start off with the base stats. So for his HP, we're looking at 18,330. For the attack, 1,046. Defense, 1,310. Speed, 91. Crit rate, 15%. Crit damage, 50%. Resist, 50. And accuracy, 0. So what do I think about the base stats? Well, firstly, that base defense could use an upgrade. There are defense-based epics that actually have a higher base defense than this legendary. So not cool. Definitely he could use an upgrade there. The base HP could use an upgrade as well. And look at that speed, 91. That really needs an upgrade because Rhazin is a great character, but he's old. He hasn't gotten the attention that he deserves. So he definitely needs an upgrade, especially with that speed. Make him at least 99, something like that. 91 is way too slow. Now, is he still useful? Absolutely. But it's because he's so old, he's a legacy champ, that he has these old legacy stats. They need to be upgraded. So let's start off with his A1 Bone Sword. Attacks one enemy 3 times. Has a 20% chance, bookable to 45, of removing one random buff from the target. Damage based on defense. So the damage multiplier for his A1 is a 1.5, but if you take into account that this is a triple hitter, it becomes a 4.5. So what do I think about the A1? Well, firstly, with that damage multiplier 4.5, that is literally insane for an A1. Honestly. So guys, it is one of the strongest hitting A1s there is. Plus, it being a triple hitter, you can see the utility with something like a Fire Knight, taking down his shield, and you can use it with Giant Slayer. So a tier 6 offense mastery that does damage based off enemy max HP. Because he has a triple hitting A1, you can make use of that mastery and get bonus damage off of it. So whether we're talking about the number of hits, the damage multiplier, or the utility, which is removing buffs, and by the way, he can remove up to 3 buffs with his A1, not just 1, up to 3. Every hit has a chance to remove a buff. You book it, almost a 50% chance per hit to remove a buff. There is just so much utility and damage with the A1. Literally one of the best A1s in the game. Onto his A2 Sheer. Attacks one enemy. Has a 75% chance, bookable to 100, of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff and a 25% weakened debuff for 2 turns. Damage based on defense. On a 4-turn cooldown, bookable to 3. So the damage multiplier on his A2 is a 6. So what do I think about his A2? Well, with one move here, you're applying 2 of the most powerful debuffs in this game for doing damage. That is that strong version decreased defense and strong version weaken, which is really great. Now, it is not an AoE version of those skills, but still, a lot of times you're fighting a single boss, right? Like the clan boss or something like that. So yeah, all you need is a single target, defense down, and weaken, and with Rhazin you have it. Plus the damage multiplier is really good, a 6. So you're gonna see when I use them in the arena and I use Sheer, man, you're just taking people's heads off with it. Very powerful and useful A2. Onto his A3, Bog Down. Attacks all enemies. Decreases the turn meter by 100%. damage based on defense. On a 7-turn cooldown, bookable to 6. So the damage multiplier on his A3 is a 4. So what do I think about the A3? Well, firstly, damage multipliers are good. They're not like super spectacular or anything like that, but they're solid. So yeah, he can do serious damage in the arena or against enemy waves. The damage is there. Plus, that turn meter decrease 100% AoE is just excellent. It's basically giving your whole team another turn. So once again, whether we're talking about enemy waves, just stopping all the enemies from taking their turns, or in the arena where you might just have enough accuracy to decrease the turn meter of that enemy nuker, which Rhazin's done his job if he's done that. Really good as well. So there's just so much utility in this A3. Now, on a 6-turn cooldown booked, it's a little long. I definitely think players should reduce this. 100% turn meter decrease a few years ago, AoE was pretty strong, but nowadays a lot of people can decrease turn meter. Maybe not 100%, but still. So I definitely think that this could probably use an upgrade. So whether we're talking about a damage upgrade or hopefully decreasing the cooldown of it, 6 turns booked is too much. All right, but still very, very useful and good A3. Onto his aura. Increases ally resist in arena battles by 90. So really good arena aura. So this is the highest resist aura that you're going to find for the arena. So next up, we're going to talk about a few great places that you can use Rhazin. So one great place to use Rhazin is against the Demon Lord. To maximize your damage against the Demon Lord, you need defense down and weak, and hopefully the strong versions, and Rhazin's got them both on a single move. Now, they are for 2 turns, and when you book out this A2, it's on a 3-turn cooldown. So almost 100% uptime of that defense down and weaken, meaning your whole team is going to do more damage against the Demon Lord. And his A1 also, that triple hitter, you can use it with Giant Slayer. So you're doing big damage based off enemy max HP. Plus, it removes buffs. So if the Demon Lord ever gets that attack up buff, you can remove it with Rhazin's A1. Now, Rhazin's A3 isn't particularly useful against the Demon Lord because you cannot decrease the Demon Lord's turn meter. But now with the skill instructions, you can just turn it off. That means you're going to get extra applications of that A1 with that Giant Slayer and that removal of buffs, and you get much more damage out of him. So definitely his utility has increased since we got those skill instructions. So if you're early to mid game and you're planning to use Rhazin for the Demon Lord and you're not running an unkillable team, I'd recommend using a lifesteal set plus something like a speed set for your Rhazin. Now, once we talk unkillable, it's a different story. But if you want sustainability in a non-unkillable team, I'd recommend using, like I mentioned, that lifesteal set. It works really well with the Giant Slayer as well. So you're proccing that big bonus damage based off enemy max HP, and lifesteal transforms that into healing for your Rhazin. So definitely a good choice for your early to mid game players. So Rhazin can actually get you through a ton of the hard Doom Tower as well. So one hard Doom Tower video that I use Rhazin in is the free-to-play team for hard Doom Tower waves, that is enemy waves. So here, Rhazin can get you through about 75% of the hard Doom Tower waves. Next up, if you're having trouble on floor 111 with that Sifi double Rotos combo, I use Rhazin to get you through that stage. It's very, very difficult unless you have a seer, but with Rhazin and the rest, he can do it. And guys, if you're having trouble with floor 66 with a triple Sifi wave, then Rhazin can help you out there as well. This is just amazing if you think about it. A legacy champ, an old school champ, he can help you out with the hard Doom Tower. Yeah, he's that good. So if you guys want all the details on how to get through those stages with Rhazin, then definitely check out those videos. I'll link them in the description below. But I'm going to go through the gear that I used on Rhazin to get through those stages right now, so you don't have to click to another video. So guys, here is the gear that I used for Rhazin for those hard Doom Tower stages. I had him in a Relentless set and an Immortal set. So I would consider this a good late game PvE build. But let's say you're early game and you want to use Rhazin. What can you do, especially if you don't have the Relentless and Immortal artifacts, or at least good ones? Well, one good choice if you're early game and you want to use Rhazin for PvE is a lifesteal set. So add on top of that a defense set or a speed set, and you have a pretty good early game PvE build. And if you want those extra cooldown reductions like you would get if you had Relentless and you're proccing extra turns, another good choice, a farmable choice, is the Reflex set. So that would be another good choice for your Rhazin to cool down those skills, especially that A3 booked 6-turn cooldown. Onto his total stats for this build. So I have him at 40,000 health. I have his attack at 1800. I have his defense at 3900. I have the speed 192, crit rate 86%, crit damage 161%. I have the resist at 158 and the accuracy at 263. So at first glance, the accuracy here at 263 might not seem high enough for the Hard Doom Tower, but I was using him alongside Drexstar, and I was making use of Drexstar's accuracy aura. So that bumped my Rhazin over 300 with that aura. Onto his masteries, and here these masteries are in particular for using Rhazin against enemy waves, not necessarily against bosses. So down the offense tree tier 6, I do have Helm Smasher, so he has a 50% chance of ignoring 25% of the enemy's defense. So this is really, really good against those enemy waves. But if you're going up against a boss, I would recommend Giant Slayer. So you're getting bonus damage based off enemy max HP. Now Giant Slayer or War Master, its sister mastery here, don't work that well against enemy waves. So if you're planning to use Rhazin for a boss, then definitely get Giant Slayer. But if you're using him for enemy waves like I show in my videos, then you're going to pick Helm Smasher. This is going to be your better choice. Down the defense tree, we have the 2 counterattack masteries here. So one is Deterrence. So if anyone on the team gets a CC, that is a stun, sleep, fear, whatever, then 20% of the time Rhazin is just going to rush in with that crazy hard-hitting A1. Remove buffs, do a lot of damage. Really nice. Plus, if Rhazin takes a big hit, Retribution is going to proc here, so he's going to be able to counterattack 50% of the time. So really good masteries down the defense tree. Another place that you can see me use Rhazin is my Easy Fire Knight 25 video. So if you guys are having trouble with the Fire Knight, Rhazin can help you out a lot. So check out that video. I will link that in the description below. So Rhazin is so versatile. Really, you can use him almost anywhere in PvE. Just check out all these great reviews. So next up, guys, we're going to take Rhazin into the arena. So here is my arena build for Rhazin. I have him in a Savage set and a Defense set. Onto his total stats. So I have him at 40,000 health. I have his attack at 1900, defense at 3900, speed 185, crit rate 85%, crit damage 217%, resist 163, and accuracy 260. Onto his masteries. So down the offense tree, I do have Helm Smasher. So in addition to the defense that we are ignoring with the Savage set, we're also potentially ignoring more defense when Helm Smasher here procs. So that equals huge damage numbers. And down the defense tree, I do have the double counterattack masteries, that is Retribution and Deterrence. So here I'm running Rhazin with my standard arena team, that is with Kymar, Siphi, and Madam. So you might be saying, well, how do I run Rhazin in the arena if I don't have Kymar, I don't have Siphi, or I don't have Madam? Don't worry, I got you covered. So in my video, New Arena Guide, 2 budget teams and builds, I show you 2 separate teams that would work very well with Rhazin. So here, my damage dealer happens to be Drexstar, but his damage, like Rhazin's, is based on defense. So you just switch out Rhazin here in place of Drexstar, and you have yourself a really good arena team. So let's see how well Rhazin does as an arena nuker. So we're going first, that's good. So defense up and turn meter boost by Siphi. I'll try to strip buffs and hopefully sleep with Kymar. So I did make people waste a turn. As you see there, Lysandra and Arbiter wasted their first turns, which is great. So here, strip more buffs if needed and defense down by Madam. Okay. And get another turn again because my Siphi is really fast. And we're going to use the A3 here, that is that AoE turn meter decrease 100% with Rhazin. So even if he doesn't kill everybody, he will reduce everyone's turn meter to 0, which will give the rest of my team another turn. So let's see how well this does. Complete nukage. Next up here, we got another strong team. We got Arbiter in the lead with that speed lead for the arena, plus your revives, turn meter boosts. We have Astralon here, AoE stun, plus Nethril AoE stun, poisons, and we got Roshkard here with that block damage buff. So the thing is, even if Roshkard can get this off, you know what? Rhazin with his A1 removes buffs, so Roshkard is never safe. So increased defense and turn meter boost by Siphi again. So strip some buffs, hopefully sleep. Everyone's asleep, they're wasting their turns, good. Defense down by Madam. Now, of everybody here, I expect Rosh card to survive. He's an HP champ. He has a lot of HP. Let's see what we can do with that big A3 of Rhazin's. Okay, no one survives. Never mind. Next up, guys, we got a really strong team here with 2 damage dealers. So we got Trunda, the strongest AoE damage dealer in the game, plus Rhodos. Man, if he goes off with those extra turns, it's ridiculous. Plus, he cannot be one-shotted. So let's see what we can do with this team. So turn meter boost, increase defense. Strip some buffs, make people waste their turns, defense down. Now, of course, Rhodos will not get one-shotted, but hopefully we can get some of the other people. In particular, the reviver here, which is Arbiter. Let's see if we can get that A3 off once it is Rhazin's turn, that is. So, Arbiter lived, but notice her turn meter, plus we have Rhodos' turn meter as well, depleted. So basically they lost their turns. So here we're going to reset and do it again. So we're getting just a little bit of extra damage out of Madam's A2 instead of the A3, which we really don't need to apply again at this point. Alright, we're just going to kill off Rhodos here with the A1. And once it's Rhazin's turn, let's see that big A2. Let's see how much damage we can do. A non-crit, but killed her off. Next up, guys, we got a really strong team here. Arbiter in the lead with that speed lead, plus that turn meter boosting, increased attack buff. We have Lady Kimmy with just that crazy turn meter manipulation all the way around on your team and on theirs. We have Abyss here with big AoE nukage, and we have Gurgo here that removes buffs, freezes, and does pretty big single target damage. So let's see how we can do. Alright, turn meter boost and increase defense. Strip buffs. Hopefully put people to sleep. Now it's Lady Kimmy that's actually increasing everyone's turn meter because of that. Decrease defense. That Lady Kimmy is fast. She almost took a turn, even wasting a turn before my Rhazin. She is very, very fast. Let's see what we can do with the A3. Gurgo is still alive, but notice that turn meter reduced to 0, so he has to start all over again. So I'm just gonna, actually I'll go for a little turn meter boost myself and see if I can take Rhazin's turn before his. So I don't really need to apply this, but I'm gonna reapply that defense down because I'm gonna use Rhazin's A2 here and see what big damage we can do, hopefully. 120,000 damage from that A2. Next up, guys, we have a tough team here, starting with Cardial. He has a really annoying revive on death that cannot be removed, so it cannot be stripped. We have Madam here that applies that defense down, so that in particular is bad for Rhazin because not only does that mean Rhazin is going to take more damage, but it means Rhazin is going to output less damage. That's what happens with your defense-based damage dealers when they get that defense down debuff. So not good in 2 ways for champs like that. And plus we have Skullcrown here, typically built as a big damage dealer, plus she puts Unkillable on herself right before she dies. So we'll see if we can get that to proc. So hopefully Rhazin can remove it with his A1. Turn meter boost, increase defense. Hopefully we can make some people waste their turns. Defense down, attack down. Sleep that Arbiter. And let's look at the damage, hopefully, from Rhazin. In particular, that Cardio is super annoying. Of course, we always want to kill the Reviver as well, Arbiter here. But let's see what we can do. Cardio survives. Tough dude, but we did proc that Unkillable by Skull Crown like we wanted, and we killed off everyone else. And Cardio cannot revive anybody, so this is what we're left with this team. So we're going to reset here. So increase defense turn meter boost. Now, I could remove that unkillable with either the A2 or the A3 from Madam, but I'm not right now just because I want to let Rhazin do it. So I'm just going to attack Cardio here. Did not get that fear from the A1. So let's see, Rhazin with this A1, remove that unkillable buff. That was a big fail, all right? But we're not done yet. So I guess this is a high resist Skull Crown just for reasons like that. Let's sleep Cardio because he puts up that really annoying revive on death that cannot be removed. Okay, so now Skull Crown does not have this. We're just going to kill her off. We're going to go with Rhazin's A2, that big damage dealer. Okay, let's see what damage we can do. Stupid Cardio. 93,000 damage. So I think that's a good place to end today, stabbing Cardio in the heart. Alright guys, that is it for today. I hope this guide has been helpful to show you what Rhazin can do right now, today that is, even though he is one of our older legacy champs. It's easy to get caught up in all the new legendaries that Plarium puts out and all the meta changes as well, but don't forget about Rhazin. Rhazin the reliable. He is always there for you, can do big work for you, and can help you progress. If you guys haven't yet, like, subscribe, and share. Turn on all notifications. Stay safe, and Cardio is stupid because I don't have him.